Imagine waking up to the smell of fresh coffee and realizing it wasn't you who brewed it. It wasn't a timer on your machine either. It was an AI roommate that quietly handled it while you were still rubbing the sleep from your eyes. That's the promise of Neo. And no, this isn't another lab demo or factory robot trying to moonlight as a housekeeper. Neo is designed for the one place most robots have never truly fit: your home. Why does that matter? Because real life is messy, homes aren't perfect grids. They're piles of laundry, kids' sneakers under the table, and a plant that's one watering away from giving up. A robot that belongs in that chaos has to be safe around people, gentle with objects, and smart enough to understand context. That's where Neo changes the conversation. It doesn't just move, it moves appropriately. It doesn't just hear, it understands. And it doesn't just run scripts, it learns what your life actually looks like. Think about the gap this closes. We've had voice assistants that talk a big game but live in your phone. We've had clever appliances that each do one thing in one corner of the house. What we've never had is a single, adaptable helper that can meet you in the kitchen, follow you to the hallway, and remember you left your glasses on your shirt before you tear the place apart looking for them. And here's the part most people miss. Once a robot can operate safely and confidently in a normal home, everything compounds, tasks stack, routines form. It gets better the more it's used. That's not a gadget. It's infrastructure for daily life. So when you hear Neo is home ready, don't think novelty. Think turning time back in your favor. Think less friction, fewer mental tabs open, and a calmer start to your day. That's the leap, and in the next sections, we'll break down how Neo actually pulls it off and where this is all headed now. Here's where Neo really separates itself from every other humanoid robot we've seen so far: the way it's built. Most robots look impressive until you stand next to them. Then you realize they sound like power tools with legs. Cold, rigid, mechanical. Neo isn't like that. It doesn't just mimic the shape of a human. It mimics the presence of one. Its body is tendon-driven, meaning the movements are powered by soft, cable-like muscles instead of hard gears. That gives Neo a kind of quiet grace. When it reaches out to pick something up, you don't hear the grinding of metal. You hear nothing. Just smooth motion, like someone moving with care. And that matters. Because if a robot is going to live in your home, it needs to belong there. It can't make you nervous every time it turns its head. Neo was designed from the ground up to be safe, lightweight, low energy, and intentionally gentle. You could bump into it in the hallway and not even flinch, but safe doesn't mean limited. Neo can still carry over 50 pounds, fold your laundry, or lift a box from the floor to the counter. It's strength with restraint, like someone who knows exactly how much force is enough. Even the way Neo looks was chosen to feel familiar. The knit fabric that covers its frame isn't just aesthetic. It's washable, customizable, human. You can give your Neo a different outfit, a new color, a personality that fits your space. Because when technology becomes part of your life, it shouldn't look like it belongs in a lab. That's the genius behind the design, empathy built into engineering. Every line, every motion, every material says one thing: you can trust me. And that trust is what makes the next part possible: letting Neo actually take action inside your life. So let's talk about that. How Neo handles your daily chores, learns from you, and slowly turns from a machine into a helper that feels almost alive. So let's get into what Neo actually does. The part where that design turns into something you can feel every day. We call it chores mode, but it's way more than just cleaning. This is where Neo becomes a real, functional member of your home. You can tell it to tidy the living room, water the plants, carry groceries from the door, fold laundry, or take the trash out. And it just does it. You can schedule tasks through the app, shout a command across the room, or let Neo learn your routine on its own over time. It starts to understand your habits, like knowing you always want the living room reset before dinner, or that the plants by the window need watering every 2 days. And here's the wild part. When Neo encounters something it doesn't know how to do, say, a weird appliance or a tricky drawer, it doesn't just stop and wait. It calls in help. A real human expert can step in remotely, take control, finish the task, and then Neo learns that skill permanently. Next time, it doesn't need help. Think about that. Your robot isn't just performing, it's learning. Every time it does something new, it's expanding what it's capable of. Multiply that by thousands of Neos around the world, and you've got a network of machines constantly teaching themselves how to live in the human world, and all of it happens while you're away. You can check in through the app, see what it's doing in real time. Even watch a quick clip if you want reassurance. It's like having a second pair of hands that never get tired, never forget, and never complain. That's what makes this feature so powerful. Not the convenience, but the consistency. You get your time back. The mental load of "I still have to" starts disappearing, and once you've experienced that, you don't really want to go back, but chores are just the start. Because the moment a robot can understand your space and your patterns, it can also start understanding you. That's where Neo steps out of being just a helper and becomes a true companion. Now this is where things start to feel different. Because once Neo can move around your home, understand your space, and handle your chores, the next step isn't about efficiency. It's about connection. Neo doesn't just do things for you. It interacts with you. It listens when you speak. It reads the tone in your voice. It even picks up on whether you're talking to it or someone else in the room. And when you ask it a question, the answer doesn't sound robotic or distant. It sounds like someone who actually gets what you're saying. Imagine this. You're cooking, looking for paprika, and Neo quietly says, "That's cayenne pepper. Paprika's the red tin behind it. It's not showing off. It's just there, aware, helpful in that natural, almost invisible way that real companionship works." That's the heart of companion mode. Neo isn't a voice trapped in your phone. It's a presence that sees, hears, remembers, and reacts to the world around you. It can remind you where you left your keys, suggest what to make for dinner, help you practice Spanish, or notice that you've been quiet all morning and ask if you're okay. That's not a gimmick. That's emotional awareness, subtle, human, intentional. The engineers at OnX didn't just want Neo to respond to words. They wanted it to respond to people. And that's what makes this shift so big. Because we've had smart assistants for years, Alexa, Siri, ChatGPT, but they live behind screens or inside speakers. Neo lives with you. It has context. It remembers your environment. It understands what's happening, not just what's being said. And for people who live alone, who work long hours, or who simply want a presence that helps them navigate their day, that's a quiet revolution, not in technology, but in companionship. It's the first time an AI isn't just processing your words. It's paying attention to your world. And that changes how we think about what help really means. Because once a machine starts understanding emotion, even at a basic level, it's no longer just a tool. It becomes part of your life's rhythm. And that's exactly the bridge to the next chapter. How Neo thinks on its own, how its AI brain, Redwood, turns that understanding into real-world decisions that make everything else possible. So how does Neo actually think? Because moving through a home, holding a glass of water, or opening a cabinet might look simple, but for a machine, that's one of the hardest things in the world. The secret is its brain, called Redwood AI. It's not just another algorithm tucked inside a chip. It's the first real attempt at giving a robot a sense of context. Redwood fuses what Neo sees through its cameras, hears through its microphones, and feels through its sensors into one unified stream of understanding. Then it decides what to do, moment by moment, without waiting for you to tell it how. Most AI systems only handle one mode, language or vision or motion. Redwood combines all three. It's constantly mapping the space around it, spotting obstacles, reading gestures, recognizing objects, and then predicting the safest, smartest way to act. That's why Neo can walk through a cluttered room, pick up your keys, and place them neatly on the counter instead of knocking them to the floor. And here's the part that blows people's minds. Every Neo out there is a teacher. When one learns something new, like how to fold a towel a little faster or navigate a new kind of staircase, that knowledge can be shared across the entire fleet. The more people use their Neos, the smarter the whole system becomes. But this isn't about data hoarding or spying. Redwood AI runs on the robot itself. That means faster reactions, lower latency, and far stronger privacy. It's learning from experience, not uploading your private life to the cloud. That design choice changes everything. It means Neo can adapt in real time, improve overnight, and still keep your world yours. So when people ask, is it really autonomous? The answer is yes, because it's not memorizing, it's reasoning. It's doing the same thing you do every day, looking around, making sense of the world, and figuring out the next best move. And that's where the conversation shifts from curiosity to consequence. Because once a robot can think safely and independently inside your home, the next big question isn't, can it do it? It's should it? And that brings us to the next chapter, privacy, trust, and what it really means to let artificial intelligence live beside us. Let's be honest. Whenever we talk about robots living in our homes, the first question isn't about features. It's about trust. Who's really in control? Who sees what the robot sees? What happens to all that data? Those aren't paranoid questions. They're the right ones. Because for AI to share our space, privacy has to be built in, not bolted on later. The team behind Neo knows that, so they designed it with boundaries, not loopholes. When Neo ever needs help from a human operator, say it encounters a situation it doesn't understand, you'll know. Its ear lights literally change color to tell you someone's assisting. And those sessions? They're not random strangers on the internet. They're verified OnX employees working under strict security in the US. With your full consent, you decide when it happens, you decide when it ends. Outside those rare moments, Neo runs on its own. The processing happens locally, right inside the robot. That means no live feed streaming back to a cloud somewhere, no quiet data siphoning in the background. You can even turn off data sharing completely, and it'll still function just fine. That kind of transparency is rare in tech, but it's also necessary. Because people won't welcome a machine into their living room if they think it's quietly watching. Trust is what separates a tool from a companion, and trust has to be earned every single day. Still, privacy isn't just about protection. It's about comfort. It's knowing you can talk, move, or live normally without second-guessing who's listening. Neo's design honors that idea, not to invade your life, but to blend into it, and once that trust is established, something shifts. You stop seeing Neo as a device and start seeing it as a partner, reliable, predictable, but respectful of your space. That's the foundation for what comes next. Accessibility. Because the biggest story here isn't about luxury tech toys. It's about making this kind of intelligence available to families, to caregivers, to the people who need it most. And that's where Neo truly changes the game. Let's be honest. Whenever we talk about robots living in our homes, the first question isn't about features. It's about trust. Who's really in control? Who sees what the robot sees? What happens to all that data? Those aren't paranoid questions. They're the right ones. Because for AI to share our space, privacy has to be built in, not bolted on later. The team behind Neo knows that, so they designed it with boundaries, not loopholes. When Neo ever needs help from a human operator, say it encounters a situation it doesn't understand, you'll know. Its ear lights literally change color to tell you someone's assisting. And those sessions? They're not random strangers on the internet. They're verified OnX employees working under strict security in the US. With your full consent, you decide when it happens, you decide when it ends. Outside those rare moments, Neo runs on its own. The processing happens locally, right inside the robot. That means no live feed streaming back to a cloud somewhere, no quiet data siphoning in the background. You can even turn off data sharing completely, and it'll still function just fine. That kind of transparency is rare in tech, but it's also necessary. Because people won't welcome a machine into their living room if they think it's quietly watching. Trust is what separates a tool from a companion, and trust has to be earned every single day. Still, privacy isn't just about protection. It's about comfort. It's knowing you can talk, move, or live normally without second-guessing who's listening. Neo's design honors that idea, not to invade your life, but to blend into it, and once that trust is established, something shifts. You stop seeing Neo as a device and start seeing it as a partner, reliable, predictable, but respectful of your space. That's the foundation for what comes next. Accessibility. Because the biggest story here isn't about luxury tech toys. It's about making this kind of intelligence available to families, to caregivers, to the people who need it most. And that's where Neo truly changes the game. So when you step back and look at the bigger picture, Neo isn't just another tech product. It's a signal, a quiet but unmistakable sign that the age of artificial companions has finally arrived. For decades, we've dreamed about robots living among us. Movies made them heroes or villains. Reality made them clunky prototypes. But now, for the first time, we have something that doesn't just look human. It behaves with human awareness, safety, and intention. That's the line we just crossed, and yes, it's easy to get swept up in the headlines. The future is here, robots replacing people, all that noise. But the truth is more grounded, more hopeful. Neo isn't here to replace anyone. It's here to remind us what we actually value. Time, safety, companionship, peace of mind. It's not taking those away. It's giving them back. Because every hour you don't spend scrubbing floors, folding laundry, or hunting for your glasses, that's an hour you can spend being human. Talking to your kids, calling a friend, reading a book, taking a breath. Technology should never make us feel smaller. It should make space for us to live bigger. That's what Neo represents. Not a machine that competes with us, but one that complements us. And maybe that's what progress is supposed to feel like. Not faster, louder, or flashier, but quieter, calmer, more personal. The future isn't just coming, it's knocking on your door softly, politely, holding a cup of coffee it just made for you. So the question now isn't whether robots can live with us. It's whether we're ready to live with them, to shape this next chapter responsibly, wisely, and with heart, because if we are, then Neo isn't just the start of a product line. It's the start of a new kind of relationship between humanity and the intelligence we've created. And maybe, just maybe, that's the most human invention of all.